What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another Paula's Eight Talks. And I'm Paula's Eight Anthony. And today, we're just gonna talk today about why you feel like you're not where you should be, right? I don't know about you, but for me, I've been feeling, I don't know. I've been feeling really just here, right? Very present, I would say. Um, and just kind of really refocusing and kind of trying to figure out what's next. Ugh. Man, I thought this was gonna be a little more exciting. I'll be honest. But this is it. This is authentically who I am right now in this moment. And I feel like it's right to share in these moments because there is something that can be taken away from these moments. So yeah, let's get right into it. All right. So like I said before, I'm just gonna share with you some things that have really been on my mind these past few weeks. Um, just to give a little bit of clarity. I feel like mainly I'm talking to myself right now. I'll be honest, cause I don't know. Maybe this will reach somebody that needs it. Maybe, but we'll see. Until then, yeah. So I was meditating earlier, and something told me the reason why you feel how you're feeling is because you're not vibrating on your own frequency. And that made me think like, what does that mean? And I was getting flashes of like when I was in high school, I always felt like I wasn't truly myself because I was the type that just adapted to the environment instead of just allowing the environment to adapt to who I am. I ended up just doing what I thought I needed to do in order to fit in, and that's sort of a survival tactic too that a lot of us use, especially in the workforce. A lot of us just kind of blend into our environment so we don't cause an uproar, I would say. You know, we just came here, we just go to jobs to work and make a paycheck, but at the same time, when you're going to work every day at a place that doesn't really fulfill you or make you happy, you slowly lose yourself in that because you start to identify with that occupation instead of just identifying with who you are. And you sort of get lost in that too. And I feel like that just stems back from childhood. I'm talking to myself right now. It just stems back from childhood because we only do the things that we feel like we have to do. But what if instead of doing the things you have to do, what if you just do the things you want to do, right? What if instead of trying to fit into a box, why not create something outside of that and allow others to fill it for you? I've been in a process of creating like I'm doing right now. And I'll tell you, it's not easy. Especially when you've been heading in the wrong direction for so long. It's not easy to make a U-turn and try to go back and not redo, but just go back and refine what it is you've been doing all this time. I like to think of it as when you're driving on the highway and you miss your exit. Now you gotta drive like another 10 miles just to make a U-turn. I feel like that's how life has been like. I've had many exits, but I missed them, and I just had to drive extra miles just to go back, to get back on track. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with going off track and then getting back on. Sometimes it's necessary for your journey to get off track, because when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And I feel like for the longest time, I've known what I didn't want. Like, ever since I was 17, even younger. I'd say 17. Yeah, ever since I was 17, I knew I was always surrounded by the things I didn't want. I didn't want to live like this. I didn't want these kind of friends. I don't want to be this kind of parent. I don't want to live this kind of life. I don't want to work at this kind of place. Like, all these I don't want us. And now I feel like I'm on the path that now I'm creating the things I want. But it's still not easy, because there's still, like, every time I'm on the path of creating, then there's some old program that comes up, and it's just like a hindrance, a temporary hindrance at that, but still a hindrance nonetheless. And it just holds me up, and it's something that has to be worked through. And I feel like a lot of us feel that way. Like, we know what we want now. We know what kind of life we want to live. And yet we're still bogged down with the idea that we have to do this and that and this and that in order to survive, in order to make it, in order to do X, Y, Z, right? Because this is the program, this is the paradigm that we've built. This is the paradigm we've built, whether we realize it or not. Whether we were tricked into building it, or programmed into building it, nonetheless, it's a paradigm that we've built for ourselves. And it's about breaking down that paradigm. And when you're breaking down that paradigm, it's not pretty. It's just not pretty. It's not pretty when you're breaking down something that you've been doing for so long. And it's not easy either. It's not easy to go from this type of living that you've been doing for so long, and really it's not really living. I wouldn't even consider this living, because you're at work most of your day, right? You're at work all day. Let's just get it straight. They say there's 24 hours in a day, but really it's only 12. You have 12 hours in a day and 12 hours at night, and the majority of your day is spent at a place that doesn't fulfill you. But you gotta pay bills. But you gotta do this and you gotta do that. And it's just like, it's draining. It's draining when you've been doing this job thing for so long that you've built a persona that you don't even like. You've built a persona of a person that you probably don't even recognize. And you know that outside of that persona, you're a totally different person. You're so much brighter than you lead on, right? But you have to dim your light, because if you shine too bright, then you're considered crazy, or a lot of people won't understand what it is you're conveying, right? A lot of people don't vibrate on the same frequency as you. So you tend to feel isolated or lonely, which is, again, not a bad thing, because there's growth in isolation. There's growth in loneliness. And whenever you're growing to higher heights, there are going to be periods of that, right? There's going to be a period where you're surrounded by a mate. There's going to be a period where you're surrounded by people, and then there's going to be a period where you're just going to be alone, because you got to figure out what's next for you. And right now I'm in the process of figuring out what's next. Just figuring out what's next. And it's happening. It's definitely happening. It's just a process you go through whenever you're growing. When you're meant for greatness, you have to go through certain trials and tests So make sure you're ready for that. Because if you can't handle this, and this is what that next level may feel like, this is probably like a sample of what it is to be on that next level. Because if you can't handle it like this, then you probably don't want to move on to that level yet, right? Think of it in terms of like a video game where you go to a certain area and you're not at the proper level, and the game warns you like, hey, this is the level we recommend you be on before you venture into this territory, right? But you decide to go into that territory, and you may get lucky, but you're not meant to be in there, because you have to work 3 times as hard to be in that territory when really you don't have to. All you have to do is level up, and then once you get to that area, it's easier, right? But you gotta level up where you are first. You gotta conquer where you are first, and then you can move on and conquer that next level. It's gonna be easier. It's not gonna be easy, but it will be easier. But you have to level up where you are first, right? And this is a process of leveling up. And the best way I would say to level up is to vibrate, talk your way into it. Talking is a form of vibration, and the way you talk is what you will attract, right? The way you talk is the level of vibration that you're on. So it's easy to sit somewhere and just be like, oh, woe is me, this is happening, that's happening, and that's okay. You're just acknowledging where you are right now. But that's not a place that you should acknowledge all the time. I'm a firm believer that everybody has the potential to be great, because anytime somebody has a problem and they recognize that problem, that means they have the potential to be great. They have the potential to overcome. But some people just don't. The thing that I've been getting all week, like literally, is this moth and butterfly analogy, right? I've been like, yo, it's crazy. I've been hearing the moth and butterfly analogy all week. The difference between a moth and a butterfly is moths are nocturnal and butterflies are diurnal or something like that, meaning that they can operate in both the day and the nighttime. And some people, we all start off as caterpillars, and some people, when they go into their cocoon, they bring along all that baggage, and then they come out as a moth. And some people go into their cocoon and they let go of all that baggage, and they end up a butterfly. So this is a cocoon state. If you're watching this, you're probably feeling that right now. This is a cocoon state. And depending on how you treat this here and now, depending on how you treat this level, you're either going to come out a butterfly or a moth. Simple as that. But you already know. You already know what, you already know. You just know. It's an intuitive knowing that you have. You know what the end results are going to be, based on the trajectory of where you are right now. Are you gonna worry? Of course, it's a human trait to worry. But at the same time, you know that everything is gonna be fine. You know that everything is gonna work out in your favor, because look at where you are now. Look at how many obstacles you've overcome up to this point. And that's where gratitude starts. Looking at where you are, looking at where you were, and looking at where you are now, and looking at how far you can go. Because the length of which you can reach is limitless. You can go as far as you want to. And I know that that's said a lot, but really those words have so much power. You are as brave, as strong, as successful, as rich, as beautiful as you want to be. As you want to be. But it all starts with you. So right now, I'm declaring in this moment that we all will be successful, and we all will come out of this on the other end better, both physically, spiritually, financially, mentally, just better in all areas. That's why my brand is Anything's Possible. That's why my company is In My Purpose. Because in every moment, you are in your purpose. Every moment. The purpose of us being here on this planet is more than just being a title. The purpose of us being on this planet is to become the greatest version of ourselves and to learn how to manipulate energy. So that way we can move on to the next level in this game we call life. So we can leave a long-lasting legacy. And the reason why we are here, born in this time, at this specific moment, is because this is where we get the opportunity to leverage the playing field. And now we get to create our own game. The way things have been going, the way things are breaking down, you can literally create anything out of thin air. And it's literally, and it's all about just being authentically who you are. But this is the phase where you need to figure out who you are, what you stand for, what you represent. That's what this is all about. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I hope this is helpful. I hope I was able to add some value. And most importantly, I hope that you are successful in everything that you do. Period. So, as always, thank you for being on this journey with me. Thank you for allowing me to be on this journey with you. I truly believe we do better when we grow together. So let's continue to grow with one another. As always, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell to get notified whenever I publish another video. And yeah, leave something in the comment section. Let me know what you got out of this. Let me know what it is you want to hear, and just drop a word of gratitude and thanks in the comments. And I'm gonna close it out with this. May we be creators and creative. May we be loved and loved. May we be present. May we be free. And may we be abundant at all times. Ashe. See you later.